Hello, Black women. Hello, friends. I want to share with you three very radical things that I do for myself, to care for myself, to be able to show up as the best version of me throughout my life, right? Throughout the rest of my life. We sometimes think of self care as like the mani pedi, right? But you cannot mani pedi your way to a higher version of yourself. You can't mani pedi your way out of the toxic and hostile and harmful stressors in life, being Black women, right? You can't mani pedi your way out of them, and you can't mani pedi your way to the better, the good. And so I'd like to share with you my three favorites. I'm going to share my three favorite radical ways that I care for myself as a Black woman from the United States of America, from exotic Dover, Delaware. But first, let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Stephanie Perry. I'm a house sitter. I am the creator of House Sitter School and the co-creator of Exodus Summit, and I help Black women take a sabbatical or a career break. I help Black women move abroad. I help Black women bop around as a nomad, all while embracing ease. If these things sound good to you, subscribe to my channel, please. You have to hit the button. You see where it says thank you. And then turn on notifications, ring the notification bell, and you'll be notified when I post a new video or when I go live. Welcome. All right, welcome. I'm house sitting in Costa Rica. I'm house sitting in San Jose, Costa Rica for friends. I'm house sitting for someone I actually know in the real world. Beautiful home, beautiful yard, beautiful pool, beautiful dog who you probably won't see. Lyra likes me enough, but not like that, right? She's not going to be in my lap like sometimes dogs are when I'm house sitting. I'm house sitting today, but house sitting is not one of the self-care things that we're going to talk about. But let's throw it in there. Let's make it 3.5. Okay. So the half is that I house sit, I travel to places and get free accommodation in those places by house sitting. I pay for my own travel. I said that strangely. I pay for my own travel, but I get free accommodation in places all over the world by house sitting for people staying in their home and taking care of their homes and pets. I'll link to my new house sitter toolkit in the description of this video. It's housesit.vicarious.com/toolkit. I'll link to that there so that you can get more information from me about house sitting. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up for this view and this pool. But I want to get to the meat of this video right now. Okay. Like I said, I'm from exotic Dover, Delaware, USA. I'm from a place where Black women, just like a lot of the United States, Black women are expected to carry more than their share of the load. Black women are expected to give until it hurts, right? To sacrifice our lives, to martyr ourselves for other people, for principles, for, for institutions in the country. And I've decided to opt out of those things. And me and my homegirls. And so I'm going to share my three radical ways that I self-care, three radical ways. And I'm going to share resources for you because you might hear the way and you might be like, oh, I want to do that too, but I don't know how to do it. So I'm going to share some resources also. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video so you get the ways and the resources, okay? So the first very radical thing that I have done in my life to care for myself is I have taken extended periods of time as an adult where I did not work. I have taken career breaks, sabbaticals, gap years to not work as an adult. As American people who are told that our real responsibility in life is to contribute to the system of capitalism, right? Contribute to that. It seems ridiculous. It seems like wasteful to some people for you to spend time not working as an adult. Like, why aren't you working? You're able-bodied. You got the body, you got the mind, work. As if that is our purpose in life. I firmly believe hard work is not my life's purpose. But a lot of Black women are told that it is. I believe hard work is not my purpose. And I may not know you in the real world, but I also know hard work is not your purpose. And so I've spent a lot of time in my life not working, between jobs, after moving, just random times. But the most impactful, the most significant time that I took a career break was September 2015 to September 2016. I spent 1 year traveling the world on my savings. I was a hospital pharmacy technician. I made $22 an hour, and I was able to save up $15,000 in no, $14,400 in 15 months. I saved enough money to be able to travel for a year as long as I could stick under the $1,200 per month budget. This was before I knew about house sitting. So I stayed in hostels. I traveled to inexpensive places like mostly Southeast Asia, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Malaysia, Indonesia, the Philippines, but also some expensive places. I went to Australia and Paris, France, right? I took that year to travel the world, and that was hands down, the best thing I have done for future Stephanie. I was 41 when I left. That was 2015. I'm 49 and 5'6" right now. I'm knocking on 50 right now. The person I am today would not be possible without that year of traveling the world, not working. Okay, your sabbatical doesn't have to be travel focused. Your sabbatical can be you sitting down somewhere and being there. But that period of time where I got to reevaluate my relationship with work, right? Where I got to say, oh, actually, work shouldn't be the center of my life. Work shouldn't be the sun in my solar system. Work shouldn't dictate the rest of my life. So how do I go forward, living a life where work is not those things, right? Where work does not dictate where I get to be, how long I get to be there, who I get to have relationships with, what relationships I can foster and nurture, and which relationships I have to let wither and die, right? That was what work was for me. I was a hospital pharmacy technician and I worked night shift. So that meant a lot of family things, a lot of family functions I didn't go to. I was like a phantom, a phantom in my parents' families, right? I was a phantom. I was a thing that people mentioned. People would ask my parents, how is Stephanie? But people did not see Stephanie. And if they did see Stephanie, people did not get to engage with, communicate with, share with Stephanie because Stephanie was tired, right? Stephanie was preoccupied. Stephanie wasn't feeling good about herself. And so I didn't get to show up. Even when I did get to show up, I didn't get to show up as the person I wanted to show up as, right? Work was taking over other parts of my life. And that's not uncommon no matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you work in the service industry. It doesn't matter if you work in the something else. If you're a helper, right? Well, a social worker, a therapist, it doesn't matter. I don't want to start naming jobs. Y'all know what jobs are. It doesn't matter what you do. For the most part, I can guarantee you, if you do that work in the United States or for a U.S. company, and if you've never or Canada or UK or I don't know, insert your country here, and you've never taken a significant period of time as an adult to not work, work is over indexing. Work is doing too much in your life. And taking that year where I got to not only not work, but also see how other people work and live and work and live, right? Work is this part of their life, but they have this part. When I got to see that for myself by traveling around the world, Asia, Australia, Europe, it really changed me. It put me in the position to care for me. So we're talking radical self-care. I just watched Evelyn from the Internet's video on self-care. She said self-care is not, let me tell you what that video is called. I should have kept it up on my screen. I just watched a video from Evelyn from the Internet's, our favorite internet cousin, called Self-Care is More Than a Face Mask, right? So, which I know from full experience. Being able to put myself in the position to evaluate what I want for my life and then actually make a plan and get that has been the greatest self-care. Being able to be in San Jose, Costa Rica right now, house sitting for a friend is my dream life. But it's a dream life that I couldn't even dream before that sabbatical. I'm living out my dream life, but I'm living out a life that I didn't even know to dream of until that career break. Evelyn took a career break she called it fun employment. I think it was probably around 2019. It's hard. Who knows when things happen, right? But Evelyn herself saved up money and took her own sabbatical several years ago to lay down, right? I think to do less. I think she got to do more business stuff. I think she probably did work in her sabbatical more than I worked during mine, but it was work that she wanted to do and things that she wanted to focus on. I think that a sabbatical is the best thing for Black women. Okay, so the number one radical thing that I did was taking that sabbatical, which wasn't my first sabbatical, but taking that career break. It was the most impactful thing I've done in my life. So, right now, if you're saying, listen, that sounds great, but I don't know how to do it, I'm going to point you to the Job Liberation Virtual Summit for Black Women, which, if you're watching this video when it first comes out, because you're on notification gang, hey gang, you're perfect timing. It happens this weekend. I'm a speaker at the Job Liberation Virtual Summit for Black Women, which is happening May 18th and 19th, 2024. Go to vicarious.com/job liberation to get your ticket to register. If you think that you would also like to free yourself from your particular job being the center of your life, sign up for the summit. The speakers, the hosts of the summit, Dr. Kimani Norrington Sands and Marissa Price, are Black women who free Black women from toxic jobs. They are survivors from and healers from toxic jobs. So not only do they have the expertise or the information on how to just decenter work in your life, but they also know how to leave an environment that is killing you, right? We know a lot of work environments, a lot of employers, a lot of jobs are killing Black women, are rushing us to our deaths. And so they have speakers coming in to talk about getting out, about getting severance, which some of you may be entitled to and may not even be considering right now. How to get severance when you leave a toxic job, how to then either find a better job that fits what you actually want for yourself, or how to take time off if that's what you want, how to take your career break or your sabbatical, how to take what you already know and create your own enterprise, right? Maybe entrepreneurship is your path. Go to vicarious.com/job liberation, check out the speakers and the sessions that are happening, and register. If you're at the Job Liberation Virtual Summit for Black Women this weekend, I'll see you there, okay? If you're watching this after the summit ends, after May 18th, 2024, I may have said 2025 earlier. I don't know what it is. But if you're watching this after May 18th, 2020, or May 19th, 2024, still go to the link and see if there are replays available for you, which I'm sure there will be. I'm sure. I think. Okay? All right. So sabbaticals are underutilized because we think that they are super expensive or super out of reach. But I do help make sabbaticals accessible to Black women. We've already talked about house sitting. House sitting is one way. If you had free accommodation, how long could you be out of work? Longer. Whatever your answer is, it's probably longer than that. So use house sitting if you want as a tool towards your sabbatical. And also use this Job Liberation Virtual Summit for Black women. The links to these resources are in the description of this video, of course. You already know I've done that, okay? Go to the description of the video to get the links to the resources that I'm mentioning today. Okay, so the second radical thing that I have done is, as self-care, is I have moved myself out of the United States of America. My home is no longer in the United States. Now, this may sound strange because I'm a house sitter and I don't really have a home. I just bop around, okay? But I am not a person who will again live long-term inside of the United States of America. I've decided that the life that I want for myself, the life that I started dreaming for myself after the sabbatical, was not possible in the United States. That American dream, that dream life that we think of, is not possible for Black women in the United States. Not if she wants to keep her sanity, her peace of mind, her health, right? Not if she wants to eat real food, real good food. Not if she wants to have time to nurture her friendships and her relationships. It's not possible. I'm in a rocking chair. I said to myself before I started recording, don't rock the whole time. But listen, sometimes when I get going, I feel like rocking. These things were not possible for me inside of the United States. And so I am actively moving myself out of the country. I don't yet have residency in Costa Rica because they make it so easy to not have residency here. On my U.S. passport, I got 6 months as a tourist, right? So I got 6 months to come into the country, fly into Costa Rica. And so I haven't yet gone through the process of getting residency because all you need to do is leave and then you come back, you get another 6 months. But that's a dangerous game, especially when you have your own home or apartment. Which I will have very soon, right? So house sitting is a thing that I do, but it's not the way that I want my own place to stay. Okay, I want my own coffee mugs. I want my own forks. I want my own silverware. I want my own art on the walls. And so residency soon come. Residency in Costa Rica, they make it relatively easy to apply for residency. I don't mean easy to get approved, but I mean the process to apply for residency in Costa Rica is relatively easy. There are quite a few countries where Black women from my channel, from my community, from my friend group, right? Black women in my circle are moving to, and it's because there's a relatively simple process. You don't necessarily need to have to be retired. You don't necessarily need to have like a boatload of cash to get residency in some places abroad. And I've decided that being abroad, being in another country, is the way that I want to live my life, right? Um, from here on out. I don't envision a time when I will feel like the U.S. government cares for the people. I don't think it's possible for the way our system is set up, right? The way the system is set up. I don't think it's possible to not have a government that is for the rich. And that's the way I see things in the United States today, and that's not the way I want to live, right? Meanwhile, you go to other countries and they have universal health care, a basic thing that tells me that at least they want people to live, right? At least I want to live in a country that wants people to live. I also want to live in a country that's not actively funding a genocide. Like I just want the basics. I don't ask for a whole lot. And Costa Rica is a place that fits my needs. And so I have decided that the United States of America will no longer be the country of my residence, right? I'm not talking about I'd have, what is the word? Whatever the other word. I'm still a citizen of the United States. That passport is still powerful, helpful in operating and moving from place to place and traveling around the world. The passport is still powerful. But my home, my stuff, my heart will no longer be there, right? That is a form of self-care that's radical, but not that hard to replicate for you. If you've ever moved anywhere, you could probably move to another country, especially if you're a person who has income that is not related or tied to you being in one specific place. A lot of people nowadays have some sort of remote work, some sort of remote job. If your remote job will let you be anywhere in the world, maybe it's time for you to be anywhere in the world too. Maybe it's time for you to be in a place where you don't have to have blood on your hands. Maybe it's time for you to live in a country where you can get access to healthcare. Yeah, like maybe it's time for you to at least get the basics from the government, from the place that you live. So I know that this is another thing that seems really hard. Like this seems like a good idea, I'm in, but I don't know how to do that, and it's too hard to figure it out, and I'm tired. I'm going to point you to the Work from Anywhere toolkit from Exodus Summit. First of all, Exodus Summit is the virtual conference or virtual summit that I co-host with Rashida Dow that's happening later in October. Exodus Summit has created a Work from Anywhere toolkit that has some resources for people who want either remote work or who want to branch out on their own and start their doing what they already do, but for themselves instead of for their employer. Okay, Work from Anywhere Toolkit is at exodussummit.com/toolkit. I'll link to that in the description of this video. I'm also just going to link you to a Move Abroad playlist, a playlist of places where Black women have moved abroad to. Black women primarily from the US and Canada, and the Caribbean and the UK. I know I keep adding countries, but Black women have moved to, so you can start thinking about what might be possible for you, right? There are countries in this world where senior citizens, older people are revered and respected and just treated kindly and with patience. There are places in this world where children are allowed to be children, are allowed to like be active members in society and participate and not hushed and shoved into a corner somewhere. Because I talk a lot about being in other countries, a question that moms ask a lot is this place child friendly? And I'm like, what do you mean? But then I realized in the United States, it's not child friendly. US is not child friendly. That's a different conversation for a different day. But there are places where you and your family, whatever that looks like, can be more welcome, can be more cared for, and can be more integrated into that society, into that community. So that's going to take me to the radical thing that I have done, the radical way that I have cared for myself. My third radical piece of self-care is that I have actively created friendships. I know this doesn't sound super radical, but hear me out. I have picked people that I see on the internet or sometimes in real life, and I have actively made them my friend because we have a loneliness epidemic. I think the US Surgeon General said there's a loneliness epidemic. And we have a lack of community. And we have this misconception. It's more than a misconception. We have been fed a lie that individualism is the way to go, that you've got to do it all yourself, especially if you're a Black woman. You got to be able to do it all and do it all by yourself. And then you'll get praise. Then you'll be appreciated. Only then, right? And so I've decided to opt out of that as well. And I've opted out of that by forming community with people on purpose. Again, I know for some of you this doesn't sound radical, but it is based on what I see in my other friends' lives, right? They do not have the community or the support of people who really want them to live the life that you want to live. A lot of you do not have people in your life who want you to live your life of your dreams. You don't even have people who you can share your dream with. I do. I do. I did that in a few different ways. First of all, I created a YouTube channel and I've shared my dreams, and that has helped people gravitate toward me or like form community with me. I just got to have or I didn't host the meetup, but some of the women in my community, including Tawana, formed a meetup or hosted a meetup while I was in exotic Dover, Delaware a couple of weeks ago. And the women in that community loved on me. They let me know in their actions, in their words, in their gifts, right? In their hugs, in their touch, in their communication, in their eye, in their looks. They let me know that they are on my side. If nobody in this world has community, I got community. And it's not because I'm more deserving. It's not because I'm a better person. It's because I've actively created that community. Now, you don't have to do this via a YouTube channel, but if you are interested in starting a YouTube channel or growing a community on your YouTube channel, I have a tool called the Top 10 YouTube Tips for Coaches. I think it's called 10 YouTube Tips for Coaches, vicarious.com/coaches. Go ahead and download that free thing. It's a free resource for you. Link is in the description of this video. So YouTube is a way that I've actively created community. One of the communities that I've created is my sabbatical fund. I have a community of women who are putting money together every month to send Black women on sabbatical. We've already sent one Black woman on sabbatical. We've already given Maisha Francis $25,000 so that she could go on sabbatical. And we are now raising money to send Alicia Renice, a YouTuber and friend, an artist, a musician, we're an author, a lot of things. We're already giving money to Alicia Renice now to send her on her sabbatical. So that is one type of community that I've formed, right? The sabbatical fund community. But an even bigger community is called Exodus Summit. I already told you that it's an event that I co-host with career break coach Rashida Dow. But beyond being an annual conference, it's also a community of 15,000 Black women on Facebook. 15,000 plus Black women on Facebook who are interested in career breaks, sabbaticals, moving abroad, bopping around as a nomad, and who support each other, who share their own experiences, ask questions, answer questions, support each other, cheer each other on, comfort and console each other. It is community in action. I'm going to link to the Exodus Summit Facebook community in the description, of course. It's exodussummit.com/community, but it's for Black women only. Okay, it's only for Black women. So if your Facebook profile doesn't make it clear that you're a Black woman, you may not get into the group. Okay, understand that. Thank you. This community the Exodus Summit community is a lifeline to Black women who don't have the support in other places. I say this all the time. The people who cheer Black women on when you say, I'm going to get a doctorate or another degree. I'm going to buy a bigger house or a bigger car, or I'm taking in somebody's children to raise, and I'm raising my own children. I'm starting a business, right? The people who praise you for being exhausted are not the same people who will praise you or support you for wanting to rest, right? They're not the same people who will support you for wanting to connect with yourself. And so you need to form community with those people. You need to find them. I'm not saying you have to ditch the other people, but you do need to add to your circle people who will support you being the you that you want to become. Okay, and so I'm inviting you, if you're a Black woman who's interested in this conversation at all, to join the Exodus Summit Facebook community. I know we don't fool with Facebook like that, but listen, it's where the community is right now. Someday maybe we'll find a better home for it, but right now it's on Facebook, and the link to the Exodus Summit Facebook community is in the description of this video. Okay, so please, I want you to let me know in the comments of this video, have you done one of these things, or are you interested in one of these things? Did one of these three things stand out to you more than the others? And if so, you can ask me some questions about them. Maybe I'll answer them in the comments, right? I usually answer some questions in the comments, but most likely I'll just make a video about it, okay? So let me know which one of these things jumped out more for you. Was it the sabbatical? Was it moving abroad? Was it actively forming community? I'd like to talk about all of these things, or I do talk about all of these things over and over and over again. And it can be 3.5 also, the house sitting, right? It can be the third thing, the 3.5 option as well. Let me know which one interests you, which one you have more questions about, and we'll talk about them over and over and over again until you do them, okay? This is not a place for you to come and learn something and then leave it behind. This is a place for you to put it into action in your life. I'm telling you, your life can change, and you can dream a whole new dream for yourself by putting one or all of these things into place for yourself. I'm telling you, I'm house sitting in Costa Rica. I'm not paying for this house. Yes, there's a swimming pool. I'm not paying for that pool. I'm not heating the pool. I'm not doing any of it. I'm living my dreams. And you can too. I want you to. I want you to. Thank you for watching this video. If you haven't done it already, hit the like button, please hit the like button, and then hit the share button and share this video with a Black woman you know who is ready for some radical self-care. All right? Let's get this together. Let's get our healing. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.